Whenever the topic of a $15 minimum wage comes up, there's always a lot of frustration and arguments.
Disrespectful.
CEOs.
Deeply disrespectful and disparaging.
Mr. Kenyatta.
Mr. Chairman.
But I think it's important to understand both sides of the argument. And I don't hear very often where people talk about why restaurants pay the way they do. So I'm going to be explaining things from the restaurant owner's perspective, because I think with better understanding comes better communication. There's a lot of comparison on the news between $7.25 as a minimum wage and CEOs who make millions of dollars a year. For example, the CEO of McDonald's made over $20 million last year. Now that is a ton of money, but your typical small business restaurant owner makes a whole lot less than that. How much do they actually make, you ask? Well, let's GIB. Google it, buddy. According to Indeed, the world's largest job hosting site, hey, restaurant owners can make quite a bit of money, but the average owner for a restaurant is $57,381 a year, which is a little less than probably you would have guessed. So owning a restaurant doesn't usually mean you're going to be super wealthy.
No.
Now here's how restaurants actually make money. Now stick with me for like 54 seconds and you'll understand more about how restaurants make money than most people who actually own restaurants. So let's say you own a little restaurant and you sell a few meals and you bring in $100. Well, that $100 is not all profit. You've already spent most of that. What do you spend the most on? You guessed it, food. Hey, you gotta buy groceries to make those delicious entrees. You're gonna spend the first $30 on food. Next, you have to pay all those great people who cooked and delivered the food. So you're gonna spend at least $20 on the labor part. And that's with the current minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. And then there's a lot of other expenses. You have to pay rent, maintenance, insurance. Hey, you gotta pay somebody to mow the grass. The list goes on and on, but finally you get to the profit part. And if you were very careful with all your expenses, you're gonna make between $2 and $10 profit. And I bet you did a great job, so I'm gonna say you made $10. So now you understand how restaurants make money. Let's talk about what happens when minimum wage goes to $15 an hour. So imagine you're back at your restaurant and a new employee shows up for his first day of work and he is making $15 an hour on his very first hour. That kid is gonna be happy, right? Well, imagine now the young lady who's been working for you 3 years, she's made her way up to assistant manager and she's making $15 an hour. Is she gonna be happy now making minimum wage? No, she's not. She's gonna be unhappy. She deserves more than minimum wage and you're gonna have to pay her a lot more than $15 an hour. So here's what people don't talk about very much. Hardly anyone actually makes minimum wage. Hey, in your restaurant, maybe 1 or 2 people make $7.25 their first few weeks, but the majority of your employees are gonna be making between $8 and $15 an hour. So the average is gonna be $10 an hour, not $7.25. Now look, I'm about to bring all this home and I'll show you exactly what will happen when minimum wage goes to $15 an hour, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit more math, but it's gonna be quick. So stick with it because I know you can get it. So don't give up on this video. Don't you quit, don't give up.
Don't quit! Don't quit! Don't quit!
All right, so we're back at your restaurant. Now remember before you spent $20 on labor, but that's when our average wage was $10 an hour. Well now, if minimum wage goes to $15, that will be your minimum. And that will be a 50% increase over what you paid before. So now instead of paying $20, you're gonna be paying $30 for that same labor. And hey, where does the extra 10 come from? The profit. So as a restaurant owner, do you want to keep working 50 to 70 hours a week for no money? No, you don't. So you must raise prices. But you can't only increase your price by 10% because this $15 an hour will impact everyone you work with. The guys doing your yard maintenance, their costs are going to go way up. The people picking the vegetables, loading the trucks, working the warehouses, all their prices will go up. So your food costs will increase, your maintenance costs will increase, everything will go up. This is not what might happen. It will definitely happen. It always does. A lot of people say a $15 minimum wage will cause massive job loss. Well, hey, there probably will be some job loss. It will definitely accelerate automation. There's going to be much faster development of things like Flippy the robot, self-order kiosk, and I've even seen an automated kitchen that makes a complete pizza all by itself. But for the most part, there will still be plenty of minimum wage jobs. But the problem is by the time we get to $15 an hour, $15 won't buy you very much. The real solution, in my opinion, is to try to help people get better skills and they can bring more value to the workplace and get paid more, instead of trying to raise the minimum wage and encourage people to stay at minimum wage positions. Hey, this was a little heavy for one of my videos, but I'm really trying to help bring a better environment to workplaces. That's something I'm really passionate about. I'm trying to be helpful and keep it real here on Business Real. If this video made you mad, I really would appreciate it if you'd write in the comments, tell me what I did wrong. What can we do to help restaurants make more money and pay their people more? It's a big challenge, obviously. Hey, if you liked the video, I would appreciate that little smash on the like button. It really helps me out. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.